My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me, y'all keep the fame. I want the glory, been that nigga, bitches never ignored me. Rich in spirit, little bitch can't afford me. Day one static, fix it with a 4G. Red beam on it, you think I'm recording. Kicking front doors, you try to backdoor me. We are not a gang, bitch, we an army. Book a den, you know I don't tell stories. Keep it 100 in the lightning. You niggas fake baby K name Adonis. Mini Drake, clip curl, but somehow I can shoot it straight. Insta clip, I can shoot 4 minutes straight. Turn this to the Super Bowl if I need to. I can hit your chief up with an eagle. Set you up on the score, but they lied to you. Why you letting them niggas mislead you? My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. You won't see it coming, I move like a crook, a thief in the night. So watch what you put, my aim precise. These bullets 12 inches long, a block away I could take off the foot. Don't ask me no questions if you know my stance. Bitch, I'm the man, so thanks in advance. They mean a rifle on top of a tripod. If they ever tell you I was taking a stand, think I run up on me, but I'm way too advanced. Spinning with choppers, turn you into a fan. Can show you the steps, but won't hold your hands. They thought they could stop me, it ain't go as planned. How I get this far? Cause I took a chance. Really got ranked, keeping it a band. This ain't what you think, better think again. This ain't what you think, you better think again. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster.
Okay, let me check this. Test the 1 2. Test the 1 2. Test the 1 2. Test the 1 2. Hey, can I get a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me?
Slime of Christ. I must plug this stuff in real quick.
You can hear me,
Wait 1 second.
Okay, all right. The water. Can you see one more? All right, just start off to get the most high hand, you know what I'm saying? Welcome to Tuesday's Brotherhood class. The water for y'all tuning in. We're gonna get into the title, you know what I'm saying? But before we get into that, you know what I mean, waiting for the brother to pop back up. But when the brother
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you on the visuals.
Oh shoot, hold on. Give me 1 second.
Let this brother come in real quick. Water for tuning in. I see you, Kodash. Trooper Kodash. Young man D. Dr. Water, you know.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right.
All right. Welcome, my brother, Officer of 1,000, Precinct Officer Karatazai. Welcome that brother in there. All right. Let's get into today's topic. We still got confusion in Israel. You know what I mean? Brothers and sisters still are confused of what marriage is to the Lord. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're not speaking on what marriage is to you, what marriage is to your church, what marriage is to your faith camp. You know what I mean? What marriage is to the Lord. You know what I mean? Here in the Isupk, we only follow the scriptures in the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And whether we don't follow the government, we don't follow the United States, we don't follow what, you know what I mean? We follow what the Lord's laws and the Lord's laws only. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we abide to. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna try to work out this confusion of what our brothers and sisters seem to be struggling with is what marriage actually is to the Lord, not to your society, not to the times you're living in. You know what I mean? What is marriage to the Lord? What would make you a wife to your husband and what makes you a husband to your wife? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And in the Lord's eyes, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of confusion comes from our brothers and sisters thinking that what is the definition of being a husband and wife is being under contractual agreement. Mm-hmm. Now, you can sign a contract with your body. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you think that just signing your name is just what can cause a marriage. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you can sign as many papers as you want to. You will not be husband and wife until you take the ultimate action into becoming one. You know what I'm saying? And that ultimate action is sex, and that's the only thing that can cause you to become married. You know what I'm saying? Without that, there is no marriage. You know what I'm saying? Right. There is no marriage. There is no involvement. There is no marriage until sex is involved. You know what I'm saying? And that's the Lord's definition. You know what I mean? You want to add on to that, Ottawa?
Yeah, kind of just like knowing that, you know, sex is marriage. You know, we're gonna get the precepts for y'all as well. But knowing that sex is marriage, it'll make you more wise on, you know, who I give my body to. Right. You know, who I lie down with. I mean, who I give my body to as a woman and who I lie down with as a man. And there's also things that come with, like the brother said, with lying down with somebody. You know that I am now in how you say indebted? Not indebted. You are now in a lifelong partnership with that person. You see what I'm saying? So knowing that, you know, like, hey, if I lie down with this woman, you know, I have a responsibility, I have a duty to this woman to be the head, to lead her, to guide her, to make her to, you know, be the best woman she can be. And that's my job as her husband. You know what I'm saying? I can't just have sex with her and throw her to the side, because in the eyes of the Lord, I made that agreement to make this woman my wife by laying. Right. And likewise with a sister, you know that, hey, I got to pick the right husband, because I don't have that liberty of just going and sleeping and moving around how women in the world do. You know what I'm saying? But I have to make the wise decision and pick this husband, because I know that I'm going to be with him for the rest of my life. And I'm now picking the man to lead me, guide me, to be my head that I'm submitting to in this action. You know what I'm saying? In this action of, I was going to say something funny, but I'm just in this action of, you know, sexual intercourse. You know what I'm saying?
Right. If I can add on to what you were saying, Adawan, the thing about it prohibiting you from being a slut. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it real. Like, the Lord loves you enough to want you to only be with one man in your life. You know what I'm saying? to only marry on to one man once. You know what I'm saying? That's how much the Lord loves you. That's how much the Lord sees value into you. To try to combat that and to feel as if, you know what I mean, I can lay with whoever I want. That doesn't make me married until we actually have a ceremony and a contractual agreement. It's poor body skills. It's like it's poor, like it's poor P skills. Like you're not cherishing your privates. You're not cherishing your body. You kind of just putting yourself in a situation where I want to continue to keep on playing the field until I find what I'm comfortable with. And that's not the way it should go. You know what I mean? That person, before you even get involved with that person, you should be completely sure that you want to spend the rest of your life with that person. And that's the way it should be. You know what I mean? It prevents you from being a slut, because you can go your whole life being a wicked person, not thinking you're wicked, and continue to keep on going from man to man to man to man, thinking that you're not the one that's wrong, that they're the one that's wrong. And then you got a plentiful amount of bodies on your belt. You know what I'm saying? And no relationship to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Now you used, abused, and in your definition, unmarried. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the thing, though. You know what I'm saying? The Lord values you enough to place you in position to actually cherish yourself enough to be wise with who you decide to put in your bed. You know what I mean? Be wise to who you decide to give children to. You know what I'm saying? To give your generations to. You know what I mean? That's how much the Lord cherishes you. You know what I mean? And we have we got a lot of sisters that want to, mainly what I see is sisters combating this situation. I rarely see brothers combating this, but brothers that want to, you know what I mean, go with the norm of what a woman's perspective is, they'll combat this situation as well. But majority of the time you see women combating that sex is not marriage.
Right. If I add one thing real quick. Like you also see that like we know this. Men and women are not created equal. In the eyes of the Lord, they're not created equal as well. You see what I'm saying? Like where that like a woman feels she can have sex with more than one man and things like that. Like that spirit of whoredom comes from a lot of times women trying to be like a man, because naturally, biblically, a man can have more than one woman, and a man, you know, from times of old have been with more than one woman. You see what I'm saying? So when a woman sees that, she's like, well, I can do that too. And in the eyes of the Lord, he created you two different creatures. You see what I'm saying? Two different creatures. If you was equal to the man, you would have been called a man as well. You know what I'm saying? Just like a dog is not equal to me. A cow is not equal to me. A dog is not even equal to a cow. Just in those instances, a woman is not equal to a man. So stop trying to put yourself on this put yourself in the same lane as a man. By you putting yourself in the same lane as a man, trying to think like a man, act like a man, be like a man, I can sleep wherever I want, do this and do that. I'm that whole like low-key feminism movement, you know what I'm saying? And we equal, you whore yourself out.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like it was a time period where our sisters like was just princesses. They were lovely. They didn't care to sleep with more than one man. They seen the man that they love. They stuck with that man and abided in him and stayed with him throughout their whole life. And if that man died, they some of them married and some of them remarried. That's the only time they remarried, because that was the lawful thing to do. Because now that brother's in the ground and that brother's gone, you know what I'm saying? I have no more physical ties to him. You see what I'm saying? He's dead. You know what I'm saying? Right. But now, since he's, now that man is living, how many men have walked around this earth and you got ties to them? It's like the woman of Samaria came up to Christ and said that she didn't have no husband. He said, "Woman, you got 5 husbands." You know what I'm saying? Literally, you got 5 of them walking around. Right now, you just slept with about 5 men. I know. You know what I'm saying? But the daughters of Israel should not be so. And the problem that a lot of people have with sex being marriage is that they think about the people that they had sex with and like, dang, I was married to that man, or damn, You mean to tell me I gotta be with him or I gotta stay with this man that I just laid with a week ago? You see what I'm saying? And they don't like the decision that they made. The decision that they made, they regret it. So we're trying to teach you that make the right decision. Learn the laws of the Lord, humble yourself, and make the right decisions. You know what I'm saying? This is the brotherhood class. We're trying to teach you something brotherly, you know what I'm saying? Something sisterly, and teaching you how to make the right decisions. Become that new creature, you know what I'm saying? Change your ways, shed yourself for the world, and start making the right decisions and learning the ways that are the right decisions to make. You know what I'm saying? Salaki.
If I may add on to what you were saying, I wanted to read Exodus 21. Exodus 21 and 10. Salaki. The book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Lord qualifying a law to finding another wife. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If the Lord had an issue with finding another wife, then he wouldn't qualify a law to go with finding another wife. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He would just pretty much say that there's a punishment into finding multiple ribs. But you know what I mean? You can argue that all day. You know what I mean? It's just whoever tries to argue is they don't want to accept the scripture. They just want to accept the fact that they're not comfortable, they're insecure about it, and they're pretty much their spirit is still based within this nation. Because this nation that's taught that, you know what I mean, multiple wives is just such an incredibly horrible thing. You know what I'm saying? But when you travel the world and you go to other cultures, it's shunned upon to just have one wife. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the population that you have today, like, you know what I mean? The women are trumping men when it comes to population. So the Lord was real accurate at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why does this person have to die alone only because you feel as if your spirit only dwells within this place? You know what I'm saying? The Lord had an issue with it. He wouldn't qualify a law to it. If a man, what we read in Exodus, you know what I'm saying? If a man decides to take another wife, then he's not punished for it, but he has a responsibility that goes with it. He can never leave her. You know what I mean? Yeah. Regardless of the jealousy of his first wife, regardless of the responsibilities that's going on in his home, and he feels like he can't manage another wife, regardless of whatever the situation is. If he laid with that woman, then that's his rib, and he can't do away with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what the law says in Exodus. So like,
and if I could add to what you're saying, it's like also that duty should not diminish. When it said that duty should not diminish, meaning you can get you another wife, but that first wife, you don't neglect her. You don't treat her wrong now that you had another wife. You know, now that you get another wife. But if I could, do you have the Zondervans with you?
Not on me.
Not on you. Okay. If y'all look up the definition of marriage in the Zondervans, it'll break down what that sex is basically in a nutshell. It'll break down that sex is marriage. You know what I'm saying? And they'll give you a few precepts. We can get it. It's a couple of them. I don't want to just not get those precepts on that topic, Salaki. But on the topic of multiple wives, you know what I'm saying? You definitely, bro, you cannot go and diminish your raiment to a woman that now or diminish your duty to a woman that you want. Like, let's say you had one wife, right? And then now you get you another wife. You can't just now say, F my first wife. You know, skip her, I'm done with her, I'm done with her, and we done. You cannot do that. You see what I'm saying? If you the brother and you decide to take on multiple wives, you have a responsibility and a duty to both the wives, or four of your wives, or five of your wives. How many of your wives you choose? But the wise thing to do is to make sure that you have the mental capacity, the response, and you are able to handle the responsibility of managing both of these women. You see what I'm saying? And taking care of both of these women. And I don't mean taking care of as far as just monetary wise. I mean taking care of these women and their needs of, you know, emotional, physical and sometimes monetary things. You see what I'm saying? Those are the aspects you got to think about. Dang, should I do that? Can I do that? You know what I'm saying? Do I got enough time to do this and that and the school? It's a lot of things you got to think about to consider. So that's why we don't push for brothers to have multiple women, but we do not teach what the Bible says. You know what I'm saying? If a brother can handle that, brother. Do your thing. Most High in Christ. If a brother can't handle that, be wise enough to make the decision and understand yourself and saying, you know what, I can't handle that. Right? At least not right now, maybe. Maybe down the line when I'll get my things in order, I could. That's the wise decision to make. You see what I'm saying? Don't just be out here having all these wives stringing along and now you entitled to them and they scorning you and they mad because you can't handle your business. You know what I'm saying? I got precepts on that too, though. Slack it.
You got them right now, or are you on?
No, go ahead. What you about to pull? I'm gonna give me a second to pull these up. I got them.
I kind of just wanted to expound on that. As far as the marriage situation, you know what I'm saying? Hey, shalom to Christ. I don't want shoot. Hey, the water for tuning in, y'all too. You know what I'm saying? As far as the marriage situation, you know what I mean? The Lord, it's such a great thing that when it comes to the law, it really stops you from being destroyed by our enemy. You know what I'm saying? Which is our oppressor. You know what I'm saying? Because our oppressor would want you to go out whoring yourself, sleeping with whoever, working your way through the ranks to try to find the right person. You know what I mean? And it's so destructive to our black culture because it's just like we always dealing with something. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless of whatever the situation is, we have some type of situation that we dealing with. So it's like it's such an out when you're feeling free to be able to come and go whenever you please. You know what I'm saying? That's why the law is important. You know what I'm saying? Because the American law or the laws of the earth allow you to be able to establish a lifetime partnership with somebody, but be able to walk out of it whenever you want to. That's technically failure. You know what I'm saying? It's failure because you have an opportunity to be able to fail. You know what I mean? If you sit over here and make a lifelong partnership with somebody, a lifelong vow to somebody, and you can leave whenever you feel like it, then what value does that bring to your life? You know what I'm saying? If I could just, this person is nagging too much. All right, I'm about to roll out. You know what I mean? Or this person is just don't like to clean up. All right, I'm out. You know what I mean? This person don't like to cook. Oh, I'm out. No. But the law allows you to figure out those things before and to be wise with those things before you step into that responsibility of that relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because you know you can't leave. You know that you're going to always have to deal with that person. So you're going to be a lot more wiser of who you choose to bring into your home. You're going to be a lot more wiser of who you choose to share your generations with. You know what I mean? Share your children with. Because you know that once that person and you connect in a physical way, then that's the contract that you signed for everything. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's why the law of the Lord is more righteous than the laws of this earth. You know what I mean? Because he's preventing you from wanting to go out and be promiscuous. He's preventing you from wanting to go out and use your body to gain finances, which is what you see is the norm today. You know what I mean? The online pornography, the OnlyFans, all that stuff like that. Women are using their bodies as a way of coming up in this society. But all in all, if you really, really cherish the Lord and you really cherish the law of the Lord, then you would know I can't be out here selling my body and just gaining on multiple husbands just for a bag, just for a purse, just for some type of keys or a car. You know what I'm saying? Just for some type of whatever it is. You know what I mean? Some materialistic thing that doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? The Lord is preventing you from having that promiscuous ways of thinking by giving you an option of choosing your husband and being with that husband until your last days or his last days. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. You know what I mean? The Lord the Lord's law is way more righteous than when it comes to the laws of the land. And people want to keep on gravitating to this contractual agreement. Oh, we're not married until we actually contracted in marriage. You know what I mean? If the government approves our vows, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, at the end of the day, my thing is, this is just how I feel about it. If you feel like you are not married until you are contractually married, then that's fine. Whatever. You want to go out and go get married and have the ceremony and have the signing of y'all names and changing. If you want to do all that whole process, that's fine. No one's saying that it's wrong for you to do it. Don't feel as if, you know what I mean, we're telling you that it's not okay to do that. Just don't feel like you're not married after you have sex with somebody. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want before the sex happens. That's up to you. It doesn't matter. Whatever you qualifying, whatever your qualifications are for what you feel is a man should sleep with you or be with you, that's fine. Just don't have sex before you do it. You know what I'm saying? Because once you have sex, that's it. That's your husband. And that's what you need to understand. You know what I mean? How you feel, everything that needs to happen. I don't care if you feel like the man need to learn how to tap dance. It don't even matter. You know what I mean? Whatever your qualifications of what you want before what you consider as marriage, that's up to you. But just don't have sex with them until you know that that's the person you're gonna be with forever. You know what I mean? Whatever happens in between that, it pays no one never mind. You
right.
I mean?
If I could just get Exodus 22:16 real quick to go on that. This is a milk scripture on sex is marriage. You know what I'm saying? It ties into perfectly into what you're saying. And anytime you've seen in the Bible somebody talking about like they say he knew her, or they lay hold of her and lie with her. These are clear indications of how do you know somebody? You know what I'm saying? How do you know somebody? You know somebody by knowing somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like I know my red by from that performance of those things. You know what I'm saying? Like I know her. Now that's like your purest. Okay. That's like the basic of how do I want to say this? It's like that's like, the most vulnerable somebody would be. That's how you would know somebody. So like they're giving you all of you at that moment. You're giving them all of you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Y'all seeing each other for what y'all is, and in that moment, y'all knowing each other and y'all come together. You know what I'm saying? But get that precept for me real quick.
I got it right here. 22:16.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22 and verse 16.
Right.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed.
If a man entice a maid, so if a man flirts with or tries to attempt to, I'm trying to use terms that we use nowadays. He flirts or spits game or, puts his bid in with a woman a maid, you know what I'm saying, a young woman that is not betrothed, meaning that she's not courting nobody else, she's not talking to nobody else, or, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. Go ahead.
Khan. He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
It's like you missed one part, and not betrothed.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her,
right, and he lays with her, right? So don't forget that this is important. And he lays with the woman. Go ahead.
Right. He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife, meaning he shall surely know that is his wife. You see what I'm saying? And treat her as such. So the act of lying with the woman made this woman his wife. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead. Read the next part.
Khan. Verse 17. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money. He shall pay more money according to the dowry of virgins.
Now this is another part, because now we don't do this in today's age. We don't go ask the father and things of that nature. In the UPK, you pay a dowry, but now brothers don't. Well, women don't know their father. Niggas, I'm slacking. Brothers don't know. Brothers don't even care to go to a woman's father because they just having sex with the woman. But in the times period, well, if you just flirting with a sister and y'all like each other and y'all did the act of sex before that, and your father's like, man, I didn't want to give her to you. He can't go break the law and say that is not your husband. Why? Because the law is that he laid with her. Right. That is his wife. You see what I'm saying? Because if the father disagreed, he would just be like, that is not your husband. You know what we're going to do? We're going to marry you to somebody else. See, he can't do that. The brother now has to pay the dowry of virgins, which if you go to Deuteronomy, I believe it's Deuteronomy. Give me 1 second. It's Deuteronomy 21. 21? Oh, let me look at that. Oh, right here. Deuteronomy 22 and 28. Read that for me too, because this is the dowry of virgins. This is where you have this at. So the father can't just go up and say, no, that's not your wife because that's not your husband. No, like the father has to be like, man, I disagree with it, but he didn't already lay with her. I know the law. The law is if a man entices a wife and he lay with her, you know what? Now, since you did that without going through the proper protocols and chains, you got to pay me more than the dowry that you would have had to pay me for the woman. You see what I'm saying?
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, is not betrothed.
So if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, see it, you know what I'm saying? She's a young woman. If you look up virgin in the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, you'll understand that. I don't have it on me, I'll read it for y'all, but a virgin is a young woman of maritable age. It's not the definition that, you know, America puts off or America or persons have taught us. And biblically, a virgin is a young woman of marriageable age, meaning a young lady. Go ahead.
And lay hold on her.
Which laid hold on her. So this is a young woman that's not betrothed, and he laid hold on her. Now, this is not talking about no rape. I know a lot of fake Israelites try to use this as we can just take woman's box. No, this is talking about I laid this woman down. I subdued this woman. I had sex with her willingly. Go ahead.
And laid hold on her and lie with her.
Mm-hmm.
And they be found.
Keep going.
Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver. Mm-hmm. And she shall be his wife.
What?
She shall be his wife.
Now, why would she be his wife? It's because he lied with her. You see what I'm saying? It's because he laid with that woman. Keep going.
Because he hath humbled her.
Because he has what?
Because he hath humbled her.
Mm-hmm.
He may not put her away all his days.
Because that's it right there. That's sex is marriage in the Bible.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. If y'all got any questions on it, type your questions in. We're going to break it down for y'all. But that sex is marriage. You know what I'm saying? A brother laying with the woman, he can't throw her away. He can't put her away. This is in the law. He has to stay with that woman. You see what I'm saying?
All right.
You see what I'm saying? Whether he went about it the right way and courted her and did this and this and that and the third, and he paid his dowry that way, or whether he didn't do it the right way and just they was in the midst of love and they was infatuated with each other and they just couldn't resist and couldn't wait and they laid with each other. Either way, the act of the act of you two laying with one another made you each other's husband and wife.
Right.
Not no marriage contract, not no, what's some other things? I don't know. That's the only thing, right? Marriage contract?
The vows and the rings and celebration.
Right. All that. That don't make you husband and wife. The brother don't got to spend $3,000 on the ring for you to be his wife.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's you gave him that box. That's what made you his wife in the eyes of the Lord. you performing, you know, doing them things that you did in that bedroom, them things you did in that bedroom. You know what you did.
Right.
That made you his. You understand? So, I mean, it's slocky. I rest my case on that. Anybody disagree with that? They just want to be hard headed.
I think they try to call it like a, what is it? It's like a ketubot, something like that. Like something that they try to say like is something that we did during the days of Egypt. Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as making marriages, not understanding while, you know what I mean? It's pretty much a contractual agreement, but like, you know what I mean? That they said that they found evidence on of how the Hebrews got married, but not understanding the fact that we were also under captivity in Egypt as well. Right. You know what I'm saying?
But Moses, that don't really make sense to me because the time that Moses is giving us this law in Deuteronomy, we already made the Exodus out of Egypt.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And the Lord gave us these laws. And even in the time of Christ, you know what I'm saying? Even in the time of Christ, what did it say? If a man leave his father and his mother and they twain, y'all know what twaining is. Come on now. We grown. It's like if you some kids watching, it's like it. But we know what twaining is. And y'all become one flesh. That lets you know that, hey, the fact that I laid with this woman, she is now my flesh. She's now mine.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? That's in the times of Christ. So I don't know. I don't get that. That don't make sense to me. It's like it.
I may too. Like within those two precepts, like, I mean, how much more detailed can you be? You know what I mean? Like no contract was mentioned within that precept.
Right.
But marriage was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That woman being your wife was not a kettlebop or whatever. You know what I mean? No contract, no ceremony was mentioned. It says if they
was it no nigga having to get on the knee,
right,
and buy go spend his damn life savings on a ring for this woman that's finna divorce him in what 5 years? What's the divorce rate? It's like. They say couples divorce in between the first 5 years of marriage.
Right. Yeah, like 7.
I forget the percentages of it. Yeah, but it's high. In the first 5 years of marriage, you're highly likely to get the divorce.
Like 60-something%.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now you didn't spend all that money on a ring. And shoot, she gone. She's blowing other men's rod. And now you're just a flamboyant pastor boy.
Right.
Getting swallowed up by a preacher man. So like,
I mean, those two precepts alone are just like, it's just a body bag within itself. Like literally you could just end the class right now and it just be like, because how much more detailed? He's talking about the whole process of what it takes to have a wife. You know what I mean? What it takes to become a wife, to become a husband, and nothing else was mentioned but laying together. So like, Adawan, I think your camera went out.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Okay. But yeah, like nothing else was mentioned but the physical portion of what was going on. If they found together, lying together, then that man has to pay that father a dowry because, first of all, you know what I mean, it is our custom. You know what I mean, you go to the father and you know what I mean, you have to, you know what I mean, get the father to agree to, you know what I mean, okay, I want to marry your daughter. You know what I mean? What do I have to do? Usually you have to pay a dowry, or you know what I mean, if he sees you fit to take his place in the protection of his child, you know what I mean, the protection of his daughter, Salaki. Let me not say child because people gonna take that out of perspective. But
right.
take his daughter and take over his position as her protector, as her protection. You know what I'm saying? If he sees you fit and he agrees to it, you know what I mean, then he'll probably agree to a dowry. What did Jacob had to do? You know what I mean? Jacob had to work for 7 years. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, within those 7 years, he was not married until he went into that tent and laid with Laban's daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was there. They was talking. They was flirting.
Right, exactly.
They liked each other. Like, so you mean to tell me they could have Jacob, and in between them 7 years, he could have got on one knee and proposed, and that would have made them what, engaged?
Right.
And technically, they would have been considered, engaged or married. You know what I'm saying? That would have been like his spouse or something like that. What do they call that when you get a ring?
That's God dang. How did I forget already? God dang. Ain't been in the world in a minute. That makes them your that makes fiance.
Fiance. There it is. That makes him your fiance. But in the eyes of the Lord, that just a brother that that's his sister he's courting. You know what I'm saying? Right. They make it this big commitment that this is not. No, that's just a person you're courting that you have a familiar person with, but that doesn't necessarily make them your wife. They could have never had sex, right? This is how crazy America is. They could have never had sex, or the world is. And he got on one knee, proposed, got engaged. It could have been fiance and fiancette. I don't know if that's a word. I'm making it up now, but they could have been them two things and had the whole marriage ceremony. And they would have, in the eyes of America, they would have been considered married because they went through the whole, thing. But they never had sex.
Right.
So that's not your wife. You know what I'm saying? In the eyes of the Lord, that's not your wife. But in America, would say that's your wife. And then y'all could have never had sex, and she could leave you the next night, file for divorce, and take half of your earnings or whatever, that spouse's alimony and all that type of stuff from you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But in the eyes of the Lord, as soon as you lay with that woman, you stay with that woman, and that is your woman. As soon as you lay with that man, you stay with that man, and that is your man. You know what I'm saying? Shalom to everybody tuning in. If you could just like and share, give us a thumbs up, whatever it is on your screen. If you're watching from Facebook, if you're watching from YouTube, just like and share the stream up. You know what I mean? Support the truth in any ways. Just a like, pay ties as well. Give me 1 second. I seen something I want to. And if I could, I want to touch on multiple wives real quick. Because that's another thing I said I want to go back on. I had precepts on.
Can I get a precept real quick, Ottawa?
Yeah. What you need?
I'm just gonna get into Abraham making Hagar his wife.
Oh, okay, yeah, come on.
So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 16 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
It says, and Sarah, Abraham's wife. It's like I'll start a precept before that. It's Genesis 16 and 2. And Sarah said unto Abraham, behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarah. And Sarah, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abraham had dealt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abraham to be his wife.
And what did she do? She had him a son.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She had Abraham a son. That's a good precept. I mean, shoot, he gave her. She gave him her handmaid. He went in unto her, and she became his wife.
All right.
I mean, that's right in your face, right there.
Yeah. No contract, no ceremony, just straight down.
Getting busy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Abraham took that up fast too. He said, "No sweat."
Right.
I'm joking. Scripture don't say that.
Hold on.
You know, you had to act like it in front of his rib. Nah. You sure? I'm joking.
Mind you, you know what I'm saying? A real key factor too, you know what I'm saying? Because brothers and sisters are trying to make it seem as if, Abraham was in the wrong. Abraham was in the wrong for taking the Egyptian, but you got to understand at that time period, it's Sarai and Abram. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You see them in correction when their names change. You know what I'm saying? And you usually see that throughout the Bible. You know what I'm saying? When names change, that's when they fully form into their correction. You know what I'm saying? And they have the proper instruction on how to live at that moment. You know what I'm saying? But you see that throughout certain pioneers. You know what I mean? The names changing. You know what I'm saying? That's lucky.
So like I'm looking up something real quick.
Also, at the water for everybody tuning in, you know what I'm saying? Hit the group, check in. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to add something on there. I want to say recent officer Natazab said half of these women not even worth a conversation, let alone a marriage. And you will figure that out once you stop thinking with your rod. You know what I'm saying? Which is also a fact too, because you know what I mean, with the Lord's law, you know what I mean, you gotta be very, very careful who you decide that you just, you know what I mean, it's not just you just not gonna use a sister just to get off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The Lord's law, you know what I mean, you signing up to be a part of that sister's whole lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? Part of her whole life, you know what I mean? That's gonna be the one that bears your children, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you, Natazat.
Yes, sir.
How did that? Okay, coming into the truth, right? Learning that sex is marriage, right? How did that change your mindset on women and sleeping with women?
I mean, it for me personally, it made it more valuable because how I seen marriage in the world, it seemed pretty useless. You know what I mean? It wasn't really anything to encourage you to stay in it, other than having like a business together or something like that, which is pretty much what it's used for now. You know what I mean? It's just it's a contractual business agreement. Okay, you know what I mean? Credit is this, we use both our credit to get this, and you know what I mean, the house is in both our names and like that. It was more financial than it was actual meaningful when it comes to the loving of who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? It made it way more important, because it's just like, okay, so the real marriage comes within actual, if I stop dealing with this person, if I choose to deal with this person and I choose to stop, then that's a sin. You know what I mean? All my work means nothing after that. You know what I mean? Now, there are laws where, you know what I mean, if that woman decides to not be in the marriage anymore and go deal with another man, then, you know what I mean, you can't deal with her no more. But all in all, the intent and the mindset going into the situation is, I'm going to deal with you, and I'm going to continue to keep dealing with you until, you know what I mean, I'm unable to deal with you anymore, which is in death. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's I can't deal with you anymore. So it just makes you a lot more aware. It makes you a lot wiser. You know what I mean? Because just say hypothetically, you just sitting over here like, okay, I'm just about to deal with this person, and if I got to deal with them forever, then I'll deal with them forever. But I need to handle this business on, because I got this heat on me. I got this heat on me. I need to get this energy up off me. So you sit over here and you deal with somebody. Say you got to abide by that law, and you deal with somebody who, you know what I mean, you was too quick into dealing with them. They got a sexual transmitted disease. You know what I mean? That don't stop you from having to keep dealing with them. You dealing with somebody you didn't know they had it, HIV, you gotta continue to keep dealing with that person. It does that HIV does not subtract you from being married onto that person. If you choose not to deal with that person, then you are insane. Especially if that person is still within the realm of, oh, I'm going to deal with you forever. You know what I mean, dealing with nobody else. You got to deal with that person. So now you got a wife that got HIV. Now you got a husband that got HIV. You know what I mean? And now that puts you in danger. You know what I'm saying? Because you decided to go too quick into thinking with your body, and now you're stuck with that situation. And now every time when you lay with that person, because you don't have to lay with them, that is the responsibility that comes within being married. You know what I mean? Your body is no longer your body. Your body is their body, and their body is your body.
Right.
So when they require you, you have to be of assistance. So now your whole life is in danger because you got to fulfill your marriageable duties. You know what I mean? So that's why it makes it more important. It makes you be a lot more aware. You know what I mean? And understanding that sex is not just something that you just do to just, you know what I mean, get yourself off real quick. It's something that you do to solidify a relationship. You know what I mean? Right. Solidify a lifelong bond. You know what I mean? That's all I got.
Most High in Christ. Like, that's an excellent answer. For me personally, I'm gonna tell you, it kind of took me back. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hold on, because a lot of times people have sex just for the, the feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's for the enjoyment of it. It's like, I'm here, why not? You know what I'm saying? Or they didn't got this for, why not? But learning the law, you know what I'm saying, gaining some wisdom, gaining some understanding on the situation, becoming a new person, and really caring about my life, on my soul, so to speak, you know what I'm saying, and caring about myself and caring about what the Lord says, becoming that person, it's definitely changed my perspective on it. You know what I'm saying? And how I looked at women. Like, before I would look at a woman, not really, like, maybe some of these brothers can relate. Before I would look at a woman, not really caring too much of what will come next, but more so on, I just want to, how do you say it properly? You know what I'm saying? I just want to just lay with her. You know what I'm saying? I just want to just lay with her, and I really don't care what happens next. Once that happens, it's not much left after that. Like, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Whatever comes after that it is what it is. Whether some things happen and some things don't. Like, I got what I wanted. Right. But learning that sex is marriage, you know what I mean? It made me think, like, dang, like you said, like kind of how what you said, like, now I know that it's more than just that, and that I have a responsibility to this woman. So now more so what I'm looking for is things that I like. You know what I'm saying? Things that I want from a woman, or things that that I'm willing to deal with and tolerate. You know what I'm saying? That I know that what comes with this is more. I'm more so gotta be in love, not in love, it's like involved. You know what I'm saying? And being involved comes with love and care and things of that nature. So, like, I don't want to say it like that, but you know what I mean? So, like, thinking of all those type of things, it made me, like, more so be more mindful of. It curved my appetite of the type of woman I'm attracted to. You know what I'm saying? It curved my appetite of the type of woman I'm willing to deal with. You know what I'm saying? It prevented me from doing dumb things. You know what I'm saying? Because now I know that I hold myself to this law, to this standard. You know what I'm saying? I have morals and values about me. You know what I'm saying? So knowing this, I'm going to operate and move like this. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of, like, I would say, slowed me up. You know what I'm saying? It made me more cautious and wise on my dealings with women. And knowing, and it kind of makes it better that now the woman that I do deal with, I know that I actually like. I actually want to deal with them because I done went through all that in my mind. I actually want to deal with them, and I'm going to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just the former. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I had one more preset. Let me find it out. Did you want to get to that topic, Adawan?
For the multiple wives?
Con.
Yeah, because this was something that happened to me recently, and this is a lot of things that people say that you can't do it, they're not there against it, and I get it. Society teaches that you can't. You know what I'm saying? Just like society teaches that sex isn't marriage. Like you can marry this man 1 year, marry the next man the next year. You know what I'm saying? But these things that we're talking about are the rights given to you by the Lord, or the stipulations given to you by the Lord, and whether you choose to follow them or not, that's on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's you going to reap those consequences or those benefits. You know what I'm saying? That's on you to decide. But just like another one of them things, and it's a thing that women tend to, be shed the or disagree with. You know what I'm saying? It's understandable, but it's good to have these precepts in your mind that a man could have more than one wife, and that a man could deal with these things. And if you disagree, your problem is not with us. Your problem is not with your man. Your problem is with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So if I could, you already got the Exodus 21 and 10 one. They got so many I'm gonna go to. These are just okay. The precepts I'm gonna pull are just gonna be examples of a man having more than one wife, so you can know that hey, in the Bible there's plenty of examples of a man having more than one wife, and it wasn't considered wrong because it was something that a man could do. Okay, so just keep that in mind as I pull these. Give me Genesis 4:19. We all know Jacob, Israel had more than one wife. We know David had like 4 wives and lots of concubines. We know Solomon had wives. He had Solomon was out there doing his things. Lucky. Solomon had about 700 wives and some umpteen amount of concubines. If you could just read that when you got it.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4, and verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamech took unto him 2 wives.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the one was Adah, and the name of the other Zillah.
Mm-hmm. So Lamech was a brother that had 2 wives. You see what I'm saying? That's talked about in Genesis. It was nothing wrong with the brother having 2 wives. We read in Exodus 21 and 10 that if a man take him another wife, meaning if a man already had a wife, and he take him to another one, her food and her raiment and her duty of marriage shall not diminish. Meaning the first wife's food, raiment, and duty of marriage shall not diminish. Meaning you can't stop having sex with the man because he got another wife. You can't stop, doing the things that you were doing for the man, or brother, you can't stop doing the things that you were doing for her because you got another wife. You know what I'm saying? Give me another one in the law, Deuteronomy 21 and 15. I'll read it. If you could, though, get me Isaiah 4 and 1. I'm gonna read this one, Deuteronomy 21 and 15. If a man have 2 wives, one beloved and another hated, they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers that is hated, it talks about how he shall not, that his inheritance shall go to the first son. But the point of the scripture is that a man can have 2 wives. It's even spoken about as laws for how a man should deal with both of his wives in the law. You know what I'm saying? If we broke over the one in Exodus, and this is another one in Deuteronomy. This is in the law. If you could, Isaiah.
Come. Isaiah 4 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man,
right,
saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. So
the Bible is prophesying that one day 7 women shall lay hold of one man. That is going to be a day where brothers might have more than one, gonna get more than one woman. You know what I'm saying? Or even care for more than one woman. You know what I'm saying? And so, and all that just to take away a woman's reproach. A man might see a priest of God and say, I need to get with him because he's a righteous man and he's going to correct me from my sin. You see what I'm saying? So the Bible prophesies of that happening. You see what I'm saying? So don't let the demon in your mind stop you from being what's right. If you're truly a sister, I know some sisters in the world is going to go over their head. They're not going to get it. The demon's still going to attack them, still going to get it. But we read it in the law. We read it, gave you examples of a brother having more than one wife. This is something that he's entitled to. This is God-given right. Just like it's your God-given right to be a mother. Your God, if you have children, just like it's a brother's God-given right to be a father if he has children, to care for that household and to be over that household. Likewise for the woman. You see what I'm saying? Like these are this brother's rights and what he can do. So you having a problem with that is not you having a problem with the brother. It's you really having a problem with what God says. You see what I'm saying? And you need to analyze yourself and then fixing that. And hey, you don't got to get with a man that got more than one wife. That's why in courting and understanding who you're talking to or who you're, trying to get married to is important. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And brother, don't be out here just lying and saying you ain't got more than one wife when you really do. You know what I'm saying? Be an honest brother. Be an upright brother. You know what I'm saying? Give the woman a chance to decide if that's something she wants to deal with. You know what I'm saying? These are things you got to understand. You know what I'm saying? Because she can choose. Hey, I'm going to find me a brother that don't got no wife. Hey, and you might find you a brother that don't got no wife at that moment, but he can get another wife later on. You know what I'm saying? And just because he does, your duty or your responsibility to him should not diminish. It should not. You know what I'm saying? The mindset that y'all thinking of when a man has more than one wife is a worldly mindset. And then with that mindset, you're going to end up leaving that man and becoming a whore in the eyes of the Lord. You understand? So to avoid all that, just get right. Fight the demon now. You know what I'm saying? Correct it. Understand it and move on. You know what I'm saying? There's things that I read in the Bible that went against what I thought coming into here. I had to fight that and just accept it and move it on. You know what I'm saying? I used to have dreads. I didn't want to cut my dreads, but I learned that that's not our custom. Chop them off. You know what I'm saying? I used to like eating certain things. You know, them gummy worms and candies that all got gelatin in them. I got to give them up. You know what I'm saying? Certain foods that, damn, found out it got pork in it. Like, damn, I got to give it up. I didn't like it, but I did it because I cared about what God said more than what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? And give me one more precept on this. It's in 2 Chronicles. This brother, I read this. I said, dang, he got more than one wife. And man, go ahead. Give me 2 Chronicles 13 and 21.
Okay. If I may add on to the what you're saying as well, Adwan. That's that multiple rib thing it's the thing that spooks women from getting the truth. You know what I'm saying? And like you were saying, like it's not required to get multiple ribs. You know what I mean? It's just not unlawful. But when you take away the basis of feeling like there's something wrong with what you're doing, it scares a lot of women out of the truth. You know what I mean? Not knowing that, you know what I'm saying? Some brothers they twab with just one rib. You know what I mean? Some brothers just straight just one rib. Like they comfortable as long as she's providing the things that makes him comfortable and brings him peace, and he's like, all right, well, I'm good right here. You know what I mean? You taking away the aspect of what a man really feels like when you saying, oh yeah, well, because it's lawful, I don't want to agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's brothers that don't want multiple ribs. Not saying, you know what I'm saying, that they feel like they're wrong for that. It's just they just don't want it. You know what I'm saying? It's their choice. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, at the end of the day, the men that you're dealing with in the world, oh, they definitely got multiple ribs. You know what I mean? You just like to lie more than you like, you know what I'm saying, the actual situation. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, it's just like, you know what I mean? The requirements for men to be priests within this truth, we have so many different responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? The work we have to do, we have so many different responsibilities. And when you put the responsibility of a woman down, you know what I mean, it could just all be so simple. You know what I mean? Provide your man peace, keep the order of his laws within the household and maintain them at that order until that man get back to that household. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's that simple. You know what I mean? And if those qualifications are, you know what I mean, multiple ribs are lawful, and you are not good with that, you would make a terrible soldier when it comes to being a priest in his truth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we don't get to choose how we serve the Lord. We just serve him the way that he set the blueprint for us to serve him. Things that might go on in our lives that we might feel insecure or uncomfortable, but we don't sit over here and try to debate it. We don't run from it. You know what I mean? We take it on full stride. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it is what it is after that. It is what it is. And those are the qualifications of us to be a priest. Now you have qualifications of you being a wife and keeping the peace within your home. And if you can't maintain that because of your own personal perspective and your insecurities, you would make a terrible priest. If that was your responsibility to be a priest, you would make a terrible one.
Right. Or you'll make a terrible wife. And it's like, why would, okay, let's say, sister, I mean, riddle me this. You know what I'm saying? You got you a good brother. You're an excellent man. You know, like, man, I love this man. You're an excellent man. God sent me this man. Why wouldn't the Lord send another rib to that man? You know what I'm saying? Right. Another sister that might need help. Another sister that might need a good man to lead him and guide him. You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't the Lord do that?
Right.
The Lord sends his people to, in his truth, send his people to this truth because they need it. You know what I'm saying? The Lord sends, multiple people to this truth because they need it. The Lord might send that brother more than one woman, but you sitting here so wicked and being like, if you ever get a woman, I'll leave. You know what I'm saying? Or if you ever do this, and that's what it is. That's a wicked mindset to have. You know what I'm saying? And also, brothers, don't be the brother that says, I'll never get another wife for your woman. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord might send you another wonderful woman that he needs you to care for, brother. And that might be the situation that you're in. You're going to say, damn, now I'm a liar to my rib. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be that brother. Just be like, you can say, you know what, that's not on my mind right now. I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm focused on this. You know what I'm saying? If it happens, it happens. But that's not what I'm focused on right now. You know what I'm saying? Let that be your words rather than I'll never do it. And then now when you do it, let's say it happens, you a liar. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And women don't ever be like, you should never, don't you ever. Instead of saying that, just be all the woman he needs. And maybe he'll never think about it again. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he'll never want it again. You should be all the woman that man needs. You know what I'm saying? And hey, there it is there.
All right. So, like, you want to, 2 Chronicles and, what was the chapter and verse again? So,
like I think it's 2 Chronicles 13 and 21. If y'all got any questions, type them in. Off the topic, on topic, we'll get there. Was there any man in the Bible, I guess, that did not have a wife or kids? Sis, was there any man in the Bible that did not have wife or kids? Christ. You know what I'm saying? Christ didn't have a wife or kids. You know what I'm saying? He was a brother that solely focused on his mission. You know what I'm saying? What's another brother that didn't have a wife or kids? One of the disciples, Paul. He didn't have a wife or kids. Trying to think if there's any other brother. It was the brothers back in the Old Testament. I can't remember their names at the moment, but it was a law that if your brother didn't have so if I had a wife, right, and then with my wife I didn't have any children by him, it's like that's not on her topic. It's like never mind that. You can scratch that. No, but was there any man that so you got Christ and Paul. Those are two off the top of my head. In the Bible, those are Christ and Paul in the Bible, sis. Christ had no wife, no kids. All right, Slacky, can you get the precept for me? That was Sister Olivia. Just to answer your question.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 13 and verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
But Abijah waxed mighty and married 14 wives and begat 20.
Oh, this is what I meant. This brother waxed mighty. You know what I'm saying? Because children are an inheritance, and with more than one, hey, go ahead. I'll get into it. Go ahead, read it one more time for me.
Come on. 2 Chronicles 13 and 21. But Abijah waxed mighty and married 14 wives.
This brother waxed mighty, and he married 14 women. You see what I'm saying? This is in 2 Chronicles. Go ahead.
And begat 20 and 2 sons and 16 daughters.
Keep going.
And the rest of the acts of Abijah and his ways and his sayings are written in the story of the prophet Iddo.
Who? Slack, say that one time.
Iddo. The prophet Iddo. IDDO.
IDEO.
IDDO.
IDDO. Hold on, let me see. I have to get a breakdown on who that is. IDDO, son of Zechariah, Benjamin. Yeah, I have to get a breakdown on who that is. Kind of. I said Zechariah's son. Zechariah the son of. Yeah, slacking. I'm not sure who that is. So if y'all ask a question on that, I gotta get the breakdown on that myself. I'm not gonna teach nothing. I haven't been taught. You know what I'm saying? Slacking. But yeah, so the point of that though is for me to break down that the brother waxed mighty from having multiple wives. I having many women. You see what I'm saying? And the fact that he did that, he was able to have many children by having these multiple women. You know what I'm saying? And built his nation off that. And that brother was considered good for having that. Some brothers had no wives, like Christ, and it was good that he did that. You know what I'm saying? Paul, it was good that he did that. So whether you have none, some, or one, you know what I'm saying? It's all up to your discretion, brother. You know what I'm saying? And women don't emasculate a man for having more than one. Don't look down on a man for having more than one. You know what I'm saying? If that's not your preference, hey, that's fine. Some women don't mind that, hey, my man has another woman. You know what I'm saying? But don't let that be a reason for you to scorn a man or hate a man or be mad at your man if you're already with a man that has more than one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And brothers, don't let that woman emasculate you into giving you ultimatums on you not being able to do it or something that how was Slack on Slack? I'm reading what the sister says. Slack is, sir. If I may, how do multiple wives apply if your husband is a heathen? Could you explain, please? Could you explain it? Okay. So if your husband is a heathen and he decides to get another woman, you being a woman that is, you understand the law, and he decides to get another woman, you got to treat it the same. That's your husband. Your husband just has another wife. You know what I'm saying? Now, he might not look at it as it's another wife. It could just be his mistress or whatever term he tries to use for it in the world. But that is you as a sister and understanding the law, you would look at it as he has another wife. You know what I'm saying? He's over there with his other wife. You know what I'm saying? He's doing that with his other wife. Whether he's a heathen or not, he's not under the law. You are. You know what I'm saying? So he can do whatever the hell he want to do, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Just, you want to tell him to be careful. Just like any brothers, they should be careful. You know what I'm saying? But he's not under the law, so he probably is not looking at it as it's his wife. But whether he's a heathen, he could have more than one. Heathens have more than one wife now. You know what I'm saying? So you as a sister that is under the law, you will look at it like, okay, he has another wife. You know what I'm saying? They call it side woman now. They call it all these different type of things. But on the law, that's how you got to look at it. You can't just get mad at him and tell him, nah. It's the same type of way. That's your husband. You treat him, and you're a sister that's in the truth. and your husband is a heathen, just like a brother that has a wife, and she's a heathen, he still has to treat her as his wife. Just like you were sister in the truth, and you got a husband, you still have to, and he's a heathen, you still have to treat that man as a husband. You know what I'm saying? It's like it.
If I can add too, with the whole thing with not giving your husband hell only because he decides to have another wife, don't allow that to chase you away from being in the home of the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can go find your way into these different camps, these fake camps that, you know what I mean, they try to appease a woman's perspectives. So they teach what the Lord didn't say in the Bible, which is, you know what I mean, just have one wife. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, at the end of the day, you're gonna find out the perks of dealing with false information. You know what I'm saying? Because that man gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna be with you. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be with you. When you mess up, I'm about to divorce you and go get with somebody else that I can just deal with forever. You know what I'm saying? That's not the law. You know what I'm saying? That's not the Bible at all. You know what I mean? There is no divorcing. There is no, you know what I mean? There is no doing away with your wife. You know what I mean? We got to a couple of precepts about it. If I may, I want to get into just to stay on that topic. What is it? The book of Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
About the divorce. So like it. Matthews 19:8.
Okay. I'll read it for you. Hold on, give me 1 second. 19:8. The book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 8. He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery.
Right.
And whoso married her which is put away, doth commit adultery.
So that's Christ speaking. Christ is saying there is no such thing as divorce. Unless that woman decides to just go and sleep with another man, there is no divorce. So if you have a brother that's sitting over here saying, oh yeah, well, the Lord doesn't agree with multiple wives or, you know what I mean, anything like that, but, you know what I mean, I could divorce you if I want to, then he's teaching you falsified information. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you got to beware of situations like that. You're chasing some type of lie just to satisfy your insecurity, and you gotta step out of that. You know what I mean, how sisterly is it to share your husband, to share your protection, to share your confidence, to share, you know what I mean, your reasons of being, you know what I mean, which is your duty in serving the Lord. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you want to share your duty in serving the Lord? You know what I mean? That's the most sisterly thing to do. You know what I mean?
It's like if I just right. I hate to cut you off, but I got you because you brought it up earlier with Abraham and Sarah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Sarah seen that, hey, I can't get this man no child. You know what I'm saying? I can't get this man a child. Let me help this, but I know this man wants a child. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Let me put my what I feel in my body away, and let me satisfy my husband, because that's my duty as a wife to my husband. Let me get him let me just, give him a woman that he can have a child with, because I want to see my husband happy. You know what I'm saying? And she was trying to please her man in doing that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a perfect example of a woman putting what will be deemed or putting her feelings to the side, or what she disagreed with for, hey, my man can have another woman. Look, husband, just go get another woman, have the son, and hey, maybe the Lord will bless me down the line. You know what I'm saying? And it happened for her. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord was with her child. So like how you saying, like, don't let that be the reason why you aren't, like, don't let that be the reason you don't get on the chariot. You know what I'm saying? Right. You don't get saved. It's because you can get with multiple wives. It's like you can't put down the weed. It's like the same thing. Like you can just get right. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, it ain't that hard. Slack it. I don't want to cut you off. Slack. I didn't mean to.
Nah, you all good. I don't want to shoot. You know what I mean? It's that mindset of, oh yeah, I don't agree, so I'm just gonna tuck my tail and run away. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're setting yourself up for failure. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have an issue with what the Lord doesn't have an issue with. You should love what the Lord loves, and you should follow what the Lord's instructions are. That's it. You know what I mean? And if the Lord is not saying there's anything wrong with a certain situation, then you shouldn't have a problem with it. But if the Lord's saying there's something wrong with a situation, you know what I mean? You should have a problem with it. But don't try to find things to pick at so you can create your own narrative. You know what I mean? Don't fashion yourself in your own lust. You know what I'm saying? That's in the Bible as well. You know what I mean? Right. Don't try to manipulate scripture in order to correlate with what your perspective and your mindset wants to be. You know what I mean? Because all you're gonna do is just set yourself up for failure. You know what I mean? You want to put yourself in position where I love what the Lord loves and I hate what he hates. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Point blank, period. The Lord didn't say that Abraham was wrong for having multiple women. The Lord didn't say Jacob was wrong for having multiple women. You know what I mean? Regardless of all the pioneers in the Bible, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? The Lord told King David he would have gave him more wives just to stop him from sinning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give you more wives, just don't sleep with nobody else's wife. That's what the Lord said. You know what I'm saying? So to sit there and try to make it seem as if the Lord has an issue with it and it's not valid in the Bible, you're trying to go against scripture just to create your own narrative. You know what I mean? If the Lord is sitting there saying, I would have gave you more wives to King David, I would have gave you more wives just to stop you from laying with another man's wife, then why would he have an issue with multiple women? You know what I'm saying? If he would have used another example. Why would he try to prevent sin by causing sin? You know what I mean? That's not what the Lord is. The Lord is not in that category. He's not going to try to stop you from sinning by giving you another sin. You know what I mean? It's obvious that, you know what I mean, the multiple rib is not unlawful. So don't try to run from this body. Don't try to run from this truth, because at the end of the day, the man of perdition has to be revealed. Right. And that's going to be exposing of everyone who tries to manipulate the scriptures in the Bible. So those places that you're running to, you're going to be caught within that exposing. And it's going to make you look unrighteous because you were running away from something that you felt like you didn't agree with. Just so you could, you know what I mean, avoid the feeling that comes with whatever. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, like, I seen this funny meme, and it's like, you know what I mean, a lot of fake Israelite sisters, they posted and just like, oh yeah, the Lord says that multiple wives is lawful, and King David had multiple wives. And then they put, nigga, you ain't King David. It's like, you know what I mean? We talking about Sarah, you know what I mean? Because Abraham just wanted to be with Sarah. And it's like, nigga, you ain't Sarah. You not Sarah. Abraham wasn't searching for more wives, but guess what? Sarah was such a sister. Like, Sarah was not just bad, but she also was obedient, submissive, and a peace to her husband, which is why he wasn't looking for nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was comfortable where he was at. You know what I'm saying? And he was with Sarah to the end of his days. But at the end of the day, you not Sarah. Right. If you end up not being Sarah, I ain't got to be King David, but you're not Sarah. So you sitting over here trying to qualify yourself to a situation that don't even abide by you as well. You know what I'm saying? You're not as bad as Sarah. You don't even got the strength to call your man Lord like Sarah did. You're not submissive. You're not nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're not even a piece to your own household. You know what I'm saying? But you're requiring your husband to not, you know what I mean, to stretch his opportunities out. You know what I'm saying? You sitting over here, you have your qualities of what you expect, but you don't have a quality of even being everything to that man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you should focus on that. If you don't agree with the multiple rib thing, okay, that's fine. Be everything to your husband to the point where he feel like, all right, you know what I mean? I'm comfortable where I'm at. Just try that. If it don't work, hey, it didn't work. So what? You know what I mean? Follow the Lord. But all in all, if that's what you want, then be everything to that man and see where it goes from there. Either way, you know what I mean? Once you lay with that man, you stuck with him. That's the laws of marriage.
Right. So I'm not finna trim my ways. Hey, if the Lord said do this, I'm finna try to be the best priest I can be to ensure I get what I want from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I want the kingdom. I want the inheritance. I want the blessings. I want all that. So I'm going to do everything in my power that's possible for the Lord to give me that. You know what I'm saying? You want your husband to do that, you got to do the same thing. I'm not just because if things aren't going my way or things aren't, going the way that I want them to, I'm not going to stop striving for that goal. You know what I'm saying? Or not stop being who I am or who I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because scripture also say a wise woman buildeth up her house, but a wicked woman plucketh it down with her hands. Let me see if I can find that. By you being a woman giving a man different ultimatums, you plucking down your house. You making that man love you less. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I can find it real quick. Yeah, Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but a foolish plucketh it down with her hands. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to be a woman that is plucking down her own house, destroying your own, what you got going on because of how you feeling in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Or what this man's God-given right is to do. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. I have one more thing I want to say. This is off topic though. So like you about to close it out, not Zach?
Yes, sir. We are at the end of this situation. Hopefully we gave enough detail to the point where, you know what I'm saying, that confusion is it's all said and done with. You know what I'm saying? Like, just love what the Lord loves. Stop putting so much pressure on this situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Love what the Lord loves and follow what the Lord says. If the Lord is qualifying sex as marriage, don't be such a whore to the point where you feel like, oh, but that just leaves me in perspective. I can't deal with a man physically without having to be his forever. That is a very poor mindset. But a lot of our sisters are running away from the truth because of that mindset. You know what I'm saying? Sex is marriage. That's it. It shouldn't seem far-fetched. And that's how destroyed this nation has our people, because it seems like a far-fetched thing, and it's not. You know what I mean? Like, that's the closest you're going to be with somebody is in that act. You know what I mean? You can't get no closer than that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the thing about it is just like to make it seem as if it's a far-fetched thing. Oh, no, that can never be marriage. Yes, it's marriage. And yes, that's your husband. You know what I mean? And if you feel a certain type of way with it, then you probably need to manage your body a little bit more. You know what I mean? A little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Because all in all, at the end of the day, you know what I mean, the Lord is qualifying that act. That is the act of marriage. You know what I mean? And if there was any scripture that said, oh, it had to be a contractual agreement, then put it in the chat. Prove it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Put in the chat that you got to have a contractual agreement in order to be qualified as marriage. Because the precepts that we brought out, all we was reading about, if a man takes hold of a woman and lays with her, that is truly his wife. Point blank, period. It does not say if he signs the contract and she agrees and he agrees. No. If that man lays with her, that's his wife. So sex is marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
I ain't got nothing else to say. That was an excellent point. You know what I'm saying?
All right, shoot. Well, the water for tuning in. Appreciate y'all hitting the chat up. You know what I'm saying? Tuesday brotherhood class, the water. Priest and Officer Karatasa, the water. You know what I mean?
The water for you.
Get on my hand. mom messing with the water.